Y'all, it's coming down on Mother's Day. Look at me. Ha! Happy Mother's Day, y'all. Happy Mother's Day, love.
There goes the tent bag. We've literally had this tent for a couple of months now, but we've only used it maybe what?
Half that time we had it.
Maybe 5 times
Nah,
more.
we used this tent.
Okay. Well, the tent bag is destroyed. The zipper just
Gave out all this.
decided to not want to work. We have beautiful weather today. Can I see that? Beautiful day. Beautiful day. Beautiful day. It's a little breezy out, you know. I don't really like the cold.
You want to go that way? All right, this the one that was the collapse right here.
Wow. Okay, let me see the energy.
Look, I'm telling you, that rain will get you right. That rain is the deciding factor to this tent life.
I don't think it's because of the rain.
No?
No.
I think it's because of the email.
It's not because of the email. I think it's just because of the people who's running it.
All right, guys, so we got everything set up right now. The day's looking beautiful. I'm still a little soaked. I got a big head. That's why this part not soaked. So today's video is not brought to you by, but Alani, the white fox. I call it white fox, but it's called Arctic white. I like white fox better. The table is good to go. This is how we set up for right now. Just got the first sale. After I walked up to the booth, it was unmanned, but the guy was just eyeing that banana pudding. Couldn't help himself. Thank you, sir. Now, we don't have any samples today, and I know you'd probably be like, y'all always got samples, and y'all are always at the same locations, but you never know who you'll meet. So the samples is just a little push, right? It's that something different that the market has to offer. If you don't have the sample, sometimes that's a part of the closing. Other times, you just don't have it. So today we don't have it, and we're gonna see how we do. Guarantee you, we still do everything that's beautiful and amazing to invite people out to the brand and enjoy a great cookie experience. Cows up, baby. Yo, welcome, y'all. All right, so like to get to it, this video is gonna be basically discussing what is the matter when it comes to people showing you love, showing your brand love over when it's celebrities, when it's hype and clout, right? The thing about it is, like, everyone is gonna face this, especially when you're starting out. A lot of it is due to brand positioning, and it's like you're trying to scuffle out of like building your brand out the mud and like really cutting to it and getting to it. You're probably putting so much energy, time, and focus into your brand. But the thing about it is that a lot of times when we're starting out, a lot of us aren't going to mentors. And like, to be fair, the digital world is so crowded with so much noise about like mentors and who's doing it right, who's doing it wrong. Is this gonna help me or help my business? The thing that we learned while running the cookies is that you gotta pull, well, this is just a life lesson anyway, you gotta pull everything from what you're being taught and adapt into what you're actually trying to do for your business. So it's more of a learning and adaptive phase rather than it is that, hey, this thing is gonna work for my business. Not everything works for everyone's business. It's the same way if someone say, hey, this is a foolproof plan for you to go from 0 to 10,000. And it's like, nah, there's no way for any particular brand to have a foolproof plan to go to 0 to 10,000. My thing to say that if you're gonna go to 0 to 10,000, that you gotta, you're gonna have to get out into the field and like actually push your product. And you probably don't want to do that. But if you're hiding behind your computer online and you're sitting there trying to get online sales and you're constantly running ads, and you're like, this is not working. How am I supposed to get into the field if I got a full-time job? Well, you got your weekends. Well, I want to relax on the weekend. What is a small reprieve based to what you actually want to get on the other side? So when we think about sacrifice, a lot of people think about the things that they're losing. But think about sacrifice in terms of what are you going to give up. You have to sacrifice something in order to actually reap the rewards that are becoming your blessings on the other end. There's a lot of times you probably, even in business, you might not want to do what you want to do, but you have to do the thing that the market is requesting of you at that time and season so that you can make your money. make your money and then use that brand and leverage and position later to actually go ahead and sell and build a thing that you want to build and sell later. Because if you don't have the proper positioning or the proper leverage, that is where you get stifled or pigeonholed by the larger brands and people that are just constantly showing up and probably ain't even doing half the damn work you is. So when it's like, why aren't these people showing love or shopping with me versus big brands? Take the marketplace for example. Say like a lot of people refer to the bread aisle or the ice cream aisle, whatever, just grocery stores. You have all these CPG products or consumer product, packaged products, right? And everything is the same. What's different? The brand. Now we're not talking about big scale with how like Frito-Lay's own olive chips or something like that, but we're just looking at the branding, the outside packaging, right? That's the only thing that's different. Other than that, you got the same corn chip. Other than that, you have the same wheat core products. So what are you actually doing versus what the customer is expecting you to do? If you're not leveraging your position in the marketplace, they're not going to shop with you. And a lot of times when we are starting our businesses, we want the people that look like us to shop with us. And that person may not be your target audience. That person might not even be your marketed audience to even start sharing or shopping with you. So they're not sharing your post, they're not shopping with you. So you have to actually get out here and do new things. If you're not looking to do new things, then you're not trying to grow your brand. If you're only sitting there trying to sell inside your local community, you can only exalt that outlet so much. Just think about constantly making a brand and all you're doing is trying to sell to family members and friends or the people that you work with. It's only so many times that they can buy from you. If you're actually looking to scale and get your sales up, you have to go outside of this bubble that you created for yourself and actually get people to understand that you are building a brand. You are building a business, but you cannot skip steps. You don't want to hop from start to middle to finish because you'll never be finished. But you, along the way, there's processes and things that you'll begin to understand and explore. So there's usually like someone is like, I'll mentor you or I'll be a mentor, or you know, you pay me $3,000 a month, I'll show you ads, we can be mentors and all of this stuff. And it's just like, how does that actually work for your business? There's one thing my wife had just recently asked me, and she was saying, well, babe, we get a mentor, then this, and this. And I would tell her, sure, but define what a mentor means for you in our business right now today. See what that means. Because there's mentors that I have when it comes to e-commerce or it comes to YouTube or when it comes to anything like that, versus a mentor with someone else is looking for the same thing. So as we sit down and we talk and we discuss things related to the cookies, is that at every phase there may be a different mentor, there may be a different outlet of a person that's going to come in and help. But if we are building the systems to where we can actually bring people into the ecosystem that we're built, then all we're really doing is asking them for to help us solve the problems that we should already be attempting to solve and building the systems to automate, versus us just having a partnership to where they are kind of like got eyes in and then can lend a couple words and things like that. Because trust me, the more you make mentors work or have to work for your brand, this is where people get to spending like crazy amounts of money. Imagine being in a mentorship that costs you $5,000 and you make no progress because you're not taking action. And this happens all the time. And then guess what? You run out your 6 months or you run out your year, or hell, it might be $5,000 for a month. And at the end of it, you're mad, you're pissed because you didn't get no sales, you hadn't built your website, you hadn't created an email list, you hadn't created an SMS list, and you're trying to figure out why no one will buy your product, but they may add to cart. Why is this? So you're not learning how to run ads effectively because the first thing you're trying to do is get to the money. The whole point in ads is that the ads actually couple the energy of what you're already putting out. So if you're already showing up in the marketplace and people are used to seeing you, probably organically, or even like on smaller paid ads, here's what they're constantly seeing you. The moment that your brand will catch up to what you're actually doing, the ads is just there to reinforce. And we're not even talking about retargeted ads yet. This is just the general ads. Like even if you push brand awareness. So then when you get into your retargeted ads, now you're showing up and you're following people online because that's just how ads work, right? So when your cookies are chasing people, So when the cookies are chasing people, This is allowing you to constantly be shown in their face, like you're there, you're there, you're there, you're there. Now we get back to the bread aisle. There's so many other brands, but guess what? You're constantly showing up. And then so when you actually have a brand and a packaging and everything to where it's like, yo, these people really trying to get me to buy this, I'm gonna give them a shot. So all you need is just that one particular shot. You only need one customer, and you probably only need a true 10 to 100 customers that rock with your brand versus you constantly trying to renew someone. So even if you have a low product item, you have to actually ask yourself, what is your profit margin? Know your numbers. That's the biggest thing, because when you get out here and start selling, if you aren't consistent on that front and you're a weekend warrior, be a weekend warrior, but go in and know your numbers. What are you making at work versus what are you making here versus your overhead, right? Or what are you making at work plus what you're making here, and what's that versus your overhead? Like, is it actually clearing? Is it actually making it like filling you up? Because when it's all said and done, are you trying to do 9 to 5 transition out? Because if so, the same amount of time you put into that 9 to 5 is what you need to be putting into your office at home, like your home office. So if you're a weekend warrior, sit down on the weekend, go over processes, look for events so you can pop up at. See how much this market costs. See what your products and goods cost, so that you knowing how much this is actually costing you, how much of a profit you're keeping versus how much is going to cost the goods. So when all of these things Hello, give me a second, honey. So when all of these things are being calculated, think about how your brand stages against someone else. Everyone is selling candles. Everyone is selling cookies. Not the way we do cookies, but everyone is selling filled cookies or stuffed cookies. So when someone sees stuffed cookies, they're not caring if it's the gooey stuff that everybody else is doing. They're just saying stuffed cookies. They don't care that we put a macaron inside these cookies. In each one of these cookies, they're not looking at that. They're just saying stuffed cookies. So, okay, now how do we stand out for branding, packaging, and our communicating our offers and our value versus every other cookie? That's the thing we have to do. That's the things that we have to discuss. It's the same that how is everything else? All right. So when if you're just starting off, you're not to be running ads. You can run your ads, but trust me, if your website doesn't align with a product message or it's not built to where your website is communicating your value, your offer, and things of that nature, it won't convert. This is where you get into CRO or conversion rate optimization. These are things that if someone is telling you how to run ads, but they're not telling you to pay attention to your website, your copy, your photography, like dope photography, you know what I'm saying, to where your photos are as clear as your message, then they're telling you to throw money down the drain, and then you go and hire an ad agency, and all they're doing is taking your money. So what is it that you're really supposed to do? Slow down to speed up, right? And you want to slow down, rethink your product photography, rethink how your website is actually laid out. Like, am I looking at your website and everything is on the front page, so I don't need to go nowhere else? So now I'm making my decision the moment I land, don't like it, I'm gone. Or is it that it's leading me into a story, or it's leading me into your products and things like that? So then when you start running your ads, are your ads communicating the same thing that I'm now landing on pages that reinforce what you told me in the ad? And now I'm shopping with you. Even if I add to cart, because even if someone adds something to the cart, you have a valued position, because now you can retarget them through SMS or email. This is how you build your customer bases. This is how you build more. And it's not that someone's gonna always shop people for clout, right? Everyone, again, makes cookies. So it's who has the best cookies. I'm sure we all have amazing cookies, right? And especially as unique of a product that we have, to where we're baking the macarons in the cookies, no one is offering a different flavor macaron baked in every individual cookie inside of their entire plethora or array of cookies. It's only us. We're the only ones doing it. And so we're like building this position into the market to where I didn't say that we were the first to the market to bake macaron stuffed cookies. I'm saying that we are the ones that's saying, hey, let's create a flavor that's designed specifically for this cookie combination, and let's just see how people love it. And that's the thing that we're offering. We're offering value behind every piece of design that we're doing, or every cookie that we're doing, and we're treating them like their own individual items or their own individual products. Each one has a story. So when you're building these things and the things are coming together, what is it that you're actually giving the people, or what are they requesting from you and your brand that you have to give them that you're probably not doing it? If you sell candles and the next 3 people on side of you sell candles and y'all on the same row, what will make your brand stand out? What will make them shop with you? You cannot put yourself against a celebrity, because a celebrity has an engine behind them to where they already have the clout of all these followers. A lot of people follow followers. They follow the numbers that say followers, and they go there and they buy these things. And a lot of times, if you ever read these reviews, people are disappointed at these clout chasing businesses. And the business is built on clout. What are you actually standing on? Nothing. Because when the numbers disappear, the business disappear. So you'll see franchises go up, you'll see businesses go up, and all this thing, but they're all burned down. And it's happened time and time and time again. It's just that all these people have their point, they have their position, they have their moment. And a lot of people are in it to where, like, their moment, they're capturing it. So they're capturing themselves, and they're capturing the particular moments of the things of what's going on. But what are you gonna do to actually position yourself in the market so that you too can capitalize on those exact same positions? So you too can capitalize and get your sales up. Because while you're thinking about or counting celebrities' pockets, why you not counting your own? Why you not minding your business? That's the thing, you gotta mind your business. My wife say, well, I'm not selling these cookies, but let me get to it. And yeah,